And seeding rates, that's one of those things that if you want to save on an input cost, you can start that when you're putting that crop into the ground.
Yeah, so we have research on soybean seeding rates for 11 years. It's quite a data set that we have, and that's been done on farmers' fields. In this part of the state, both 15-inch rows and also 30-inch rows. Silty clay loam soils, both non-irrigated and irrigated fields. Essentially what we found is that seeding at a rate of 120,000 seeds per acre essentially has no statistical yield difference compared to 180,000 seeds per acre.
People would probably be surprised by that, but if we're looking at profitability being our goal, and if we can cut that amount of seed out, there's got to be a financial benefit there.
Right, so if farmers reduce their seeding rates basically by 40,000 seeds per acre, they can save around $10 an acre, depending on what their seed costs were and things like that. But based on the numbers that we used in our Crop Watch article, and so it's hard for farmers to reduce their seeding rates too, and I get a lot of things asked of me like, well, I increased my seeding rates because of hail, or I increased my seeding rates because of soil crusting. And the thing is, our data includes all that. It includes hail from cotyledon stage up to R2. It includes soil crusting data. It includes the latest varieties. It includes so many things that people want to throw at this data. And so I'm really confident with this data because I've walked so many of these fields and farmers have been proving it to themselves.
Maybe you're not ready to jump in with both feet right now, but maybe even just do a little test this year and see for yourself, and then maybe next year chances are you'll probably make the decision that was the way to go.
Absolutely. Farmers are really good about testing things, and so it's a way just to really answer these questions for themselves on their own field. If they're currently seeding 150 to 160,000 seeds per acre, compare their current rate to 120,000 seeds per acre. If they're not sure about planting in April, maybe plant some strips in April, come back 3 weeks later and plant again, and just compare, prove these things for themselves.
And with all of these topics we've been talking about, profitability, and the folks at Nebraska Extension are certainly there and want to help farmers remain profitable so they can stay in business to do this again next year.
Absolutely, and all these things add up. So we even have a site on our Crop Watch website. It's called Strengthening Nebraska's Agricultural Economy. And so we have several of these articles that shares the economics of little ways that add up where they can look at this for themselves.
And K-State takes aim at a deadly swine virus. African swine fever virus, known as ASFV for short, is highly contagious and causes hemorrhaging and deadly fevers in pigs. And with losses estimated at $16 billion in the first year alone, the impacts could be devastating should it reach the U.S. Scientists at Kansas State are trying to prevent that by looking at the ability of the virus to be transmitted through feed.
There are millions of pounds of feed ingredients that are imported into the United States every year. And as those feed ingredients are imported from other countries with potentially other diseases, there's a risk that a virus could be introduced through one of these feed ingredients that's imported.
They're studying several aspects related to the virus to give hog farmers more options if the need should come to control it.
In large scale, the current mitigation strategies are focused on culling infected animals, so there would be a devastating loss of animals, but there would also be a devastating loss in both trade to international markets because of the presence of that disease in the U.S.
The research is taking place at a Level 3 biosecure facility at K-State with some national funding. A Kansas hog farmer has been fined. Documents show Nelson Farms owner Terry Nelson did not get permission from the Kansas Department of Health and Environment before starting to build unauthorized facilities in Phillips and Norton counties. According to the Nelsons' attorneys, the fines are being challenged, but they have declined to comment. Many of those living in the area say these facilities create hazardous environmental issues. NTV News spoke with the Nelson family a couple of months ago, and they said they were looking to build new facilities after a fire destroyed their original one last June. Later, the Hastings College rodeo team gets one final run. Up next, a look at your weather outlook.